Hey guys, it's Kyle Thompson here with eXp Realty, bringing you another weekly market update. And this week we're focusing on single family dwellings. Let's dive right in. All right, so starting off big picture. Last month, we had 174 new listings, 102 new sales. The average list price was $844,380. The average sale price was $806,211. The average sale price to list ratio was 95.5. Average days on market was just shy of 60, and we ended the month with an inventory of 434 units. So let's take a look at what that does to the market conditions. As always, I like to use both the monthly supply of inventory method as well as the sale to new list ratio, as I find using both measures gives a bit more complete picture of what's going on in the market. With that said, using the monthly supply of inventory method, we came in at 5.37, which puts us firmly into a neutral market. And if we use the sale to new list ratio instead, we came in at 59%, which is technically in neutral as well, but is bordering on seller. Now, let's jump over and take a look at the active inventory last month. In August, new listings fell month over month from 182 down to 174. New sales remained relatively flat, falling only from 104 down to 102. Expireds had a big jump, rising from 18 to 41 month over month. And the benchmark price for a detached home in Kamloops fell $2,900 from $673,200 down to $670,300. Now let's take a look at the end of month inventory. Last month we ended the month with 434 available units, which is about middle of the road over the last 10 years for this time of year. And currently we're sitting about 13% above the trailing 10-year average of 383. If we look at new listings instead, we see that so far year to date, there's been 1,498 of them, which is the second highest in the last 10 years, only behind 2016. And currently we're sitting about 8% above the trailing 10-year average of 1,388. If we look at units sold instead, we see that the abysmal year continues. So far year to date, we've only had 672 units sold, which is the lowest in the last 10 years. And currently we're sitting about 20% below the trailing 10-year average of 845. Now let's take a look at the sales dashboard, starting off with the average sale price. So this table is measuring a full year over a full year, year over year. And when looked at that way, prices are up about 2.17%. Currently, the most expensive areas of town are Dufferin, Sun Peaks, Tobiano, and Sun Rivers, rates ranging between, with a sale price ranging between just over $1 million up to $1.74 million. Whereas the cheapest areas of town are Cherry Creek, Paul Lake, and Pritchard, with an average sale price ranging from $427,500 up to around $500,000. Now let's take a look at the sale to list price ratio. So all this is a measurement of how much properties are selling on average below the list price. So it's a good proxy for how much negotiating room you have when you are the buyer. With that said, last month it fell about 0.14%. Down to 95.5, which is the second lowest in the last 12 months, which means that there is more negotiating room on average when you are the buyer. Now let's take a look at sales by sub area. Once again, this is full year over full year, and when looked at that way, sales are up about 3.3%, and currently the busiest areas of town are Brock, Aberdeen, and Westsyde, all of which have had good have fared well year over year. Brock being up 10.5%, Aberdeen being up 23%, and Westside being up 23.4%. Between the three of them, they are making up about 30% of all of the detached homes sold in Kamloops. If you want to take a closer look, feel free to pause the video. I'm moving on to days on market, starting off with the 10-year. So far, year to date, it's taken an average of 46 days for detached homes to sell, which is about 12% above the trailing 10-year average of 41. If we look at the trailing 12 months instead, we see that there was a big jump month over month from July to August, rising from 50 all the way up to 60. And currently, we are about 20% above the trailing 12-month average of 50 days. Finally, let's take a look at days on market by sub-area. This is full year over full year again. And when looked at that way, in aggregate, sales are actually, days on market are up about 8%. And currently, the fastest selling areas of town are Sahalee, Pinnetan, and Knutsford, all with an average days on market ranging between 33 up to 35. And the areas taking the longest to sell are Paul Lake, Red Lake, and Sun Peaks, with an average days on market ranging from 126 up to 190 days. That's all we have for today. I really hope that you guys are continuing to get value out of these market updates. If you are, please consider liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you ever feel like you want something added to these updates, or maybe something needs to be more thoroughly explained, please feel free to leave your comments or suggestions in the comment section below, and I'll get to them as soon as I'm able. I appreciate you taking the time, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.